So, hello, welcome back to another episode of Self-Development with Tactics podcast, and we're going ahead with the summary of the 4-hour work week by Tim Ferriss, which might actually be kind of the fourth summary that I'm going through on this book, but it's fine. It is a really good book, and also there was a very recent podcast by Tim Ferriss himself around the 4-hour work week, just because celebrating like the anniversary, maybe the 20th or something, or 15th, something like this. I kind of have a feeling, don't really know why, but I have a feeling that this is the case. Anyway, yesterday we started with the summary of the 4-hour work week. Cool book, interesting book, and maybe, just really maybe, it is scratching my own itch. This is why I'm going through, trying to get some inspiration, trying to maybe being able to deal with things a bit better. For our work week summary, it was by the wikisummaries.com or something. Yeah, wikisummaries.org, not .com, but .org. And I'll show you as well. Here we go. Be a tiny bit smaller. Tiny bit smaller. And here we go. Step 2, E is for elimination. In terms of technique that you can really use to improve your day-to-day life, this section has the best advice. It focuses on some very straightforward techniques for eliminating most of the regular mundane activities that fill our professional lives. Here are some examples. The first one is make your to-do list for tomorrow before you finish the day. When you add an item to the list, ask yourself if you would view a day as productive if that is the only thing on the list that you got done. Then, when you start in the morning, just attack that list with vigor, knowing that all of the stuff is worthwhile. Yes. Period, I would say. And also, how do you feel after completing that task? Do you feel like being able to or having something done, or is it like I finished this one thing, or is it something really big for you, something that makes a huge difference? The second one, stop all multitasking immediately. This means when you're trying to write, close your email program and your instant messenger program and your web browser and just focus on writing, nothing else. This allows you to churn out the task way faster. The third, force yourself to end your day at 4 p.m. or end your week on Thursday. Even if you have to come in on Friday, do nothing, or even better, focus on something to develop yourself. The goal here is to learn to compress your productive time, which, once again, I guess, I've been talking about it yesterday as well, Parkinson's law, the more time we have, the more time we're also going to use. Go on a 1-week media fast. Basically, avoid television other than 1 hour a day for enjoyment / relaxation and non-fiction reading of any kind, including news, newspaper, magazines, the web, etc. By the end of it, you'll discover that the media, all information overload, was giving you a mild attention deficit. The fifth, check email only twice a day. Combining this with the no multitasking principle enables email to only eat up a silver of my time. Eat up a silver of my time when it used to seemingly bog down everything. Never ever have a meeting without a clear agenda. If someone suggests a meeting, request a specific agenda of the meeting. If there isn't one, ask why you're meeting at all. Often meetings will become more productive, or if they were really time wasters to begin with, they'll vanish into thin air. Yeah, I cannot really relate, only to some very, very small degree. When it comes to meetings, I'm not having a lot of meetings. I haven't had a lot of meetings up till now, but most often I just feel like, and it is always nice when somebody suggests that, let's, especially when it is in person. And so when somebody suggests, okay, let's just have a phone call, let's have a Zoom meeting or whatever, I'm always really happy about that because it saves me a shit ton of time and it is way more fucking efficient. On the other hand, a lot of things can just be, or maybe also should be written down in terms of a text, an email, or whatever. People are writing so many emails, just write useful ones as well. And I think that's good. I think that's great. Also, you're having it black on white. And when you're then doing something, when you're acting on that request, it is 100% clear what you have to do, what you should be doing, what the request in and of itself is, and so on and so forth. Compared to when it is said, there are going to be a lot of fillers, there's going to be a lot of stuff that you really do not need. Might be more efficient for the person that speaks, but it's very inefficient for the person that listens. Don't be afraid to hang up a do not disturb sign. This was something that seemed very natural to me, but for many people, it's not. If you're being interrupted regularly by people popping in, you're effectively multitasking, and multitasking is a time waster. So if you have a task that requires your focus, literally hang up a do not disturb sign. People will get the message. Yes, of course. You may also be able to do this in the digital world by just, showing offline or going offline, actually. This is something that Tim Ferriss said in the podcast. Sometimes it is a nice thing to be able to work remotely, on one hand. On the other hand, it is a curse, because where does work end and where does your free time and your leisure time and whatnot start? You might be in the same room. It's I've heard it very often up to this point, but having an office is very important and quite crucial for people that are always working from home. On one hand, on the other hand, one just has to have certain boundaries. This is my time where I stop working. This is maybe also some technological ways to do that, like having your email program locked from a certain point on, or certain point of time on, and so on and so forth. Crucial, important, very important. Step 3, A, is for automation. This section is a lengthy description of how to become a little or no value-added entrepreneur. In other words, a middleman. The idea is that if you set up being a middleman appropriately, you can create a stream of passive income that permits you to make money with very little effort. Well, this is interesting to some people. The truth is that it is not quite as easy as the author makes it out to be, and I really heavily doubt that Tim Ferriss made it out to be very easy. It relies heavily on salesmanship, the ability to convince people you have a product that they want, and luck stumbling into a market. If you have both, and the examples he uses have both, you can do quite well, but such things are never a guarantee. No, they are not. But I wouldn't necessarily say that this was Tim Ferriss' point. I have not read the 4-Hour Workweek, but I know him quite a bit, not personally, but throughout the years, I've been consuming way too many podcast episodes and, also summaries and yada, yada, yada. But still, this probably was not really the point, and it may not only be, and it for sure not only is about having a product and having a business and whatnot. It is about automation. I'm also thinking about technical automation. What tasks could you automate by spending some money that are going to save you a lot of fucking time, and so on and so forth. And it makes sense. At some point in time, you are not able to handle all the requests yourself, so you need to have somebody taking care of certain things. Also for keeping your fucking sanity. So, period. Step 4L is for liberation. The final section ties the pieces of the puzzle together into an overall picture. In essence, it takes the dream of defined it takes the dreams defined in the first part, the enhanced productivity of the second part, and the passive income of the third part, and creates that titular 4-hour work week. The first step is to change your job so that you can work remotely. You can do this by getting efficient, as described in the second step, then demonstrating your efficiency during sick or vacation leave, then requesting some time away from the office as part of your routine, then gradually shifting to an all-remote life. This way you can tackle the work from anywhere on your own terms. Of course, this may also lead you to quit your job if you're able to build up new opportunities like those from the third section. What do you do with the free time? That is the entire point of this book. That time is the really valuable asset we have in our lives and not money. Time allows you to follow your dreams, and this entire book's purpose, at least steps 2 and 3, has been about moving more and more time into your own personal life so you can do these things. Other key concepts. By the way, because I have read it relatively poorly, the second paragraph about how to get into it or how to get a remote work job, at this point in time it may just be way easier to get one, but it is a bit of a manipulative step by Ferriss. He kind of called in sick, but he was working at home and stuff, and I think you get it. Like, just showing how much more efficient you are by working from home, and when you're in, not doing as many or as much as you could. Yes. Other key concepts. Ask yourself, if this is the only thing I accomplished today, will I be satisfied with my day? How to double your reading speed in 10 minutes. There's also some YouTube videos on that. Why it's more productive to carry around a written to-do list than to keep one on your computer. Learn the art of non-finishing. This is all about the sunk cost fallacy. Just because you paid $10 to see Pirates of the Caribbean 3 doesn't mean it is a good idea to watch the entire thing. Cost fallacy or sunk cost is all about, and there's always the example of I'm having tickets for this movie, but somebody asks me if I for free want to come with them to go to the theater and watch something else or something. In the end, I have already paid those $10. So when I'm getting a better experience by just doing something else that is free, so I'm not having any additional costs, so on and so forth, why shouldn't I be doing this? A lot of people might be saying, okay, I've already paid for this movie, those $10 and whatnot, but you have already fucking paid it. It's not well, you do not get anything from forcing yourself to going to this movie instead of doing something else that might just be way better for you to do. How to be more efficient with email, how to reduce clutter from your life. If you can't define it or act upon it, forget it. Life exists to be enjoyed. The most important thing is to feel good about yourself. Why geographic arbitrage is a great way to enhance your relative income. Also something they've been talking about in the podcast. Working remotely for an European or American company, but living in a very low-cost country, Thailand, other East Asian countries, and so on and so forth, just to, make the most out of your money. Rent is going to be quite cheap. Also, like food and all the other shit you just need, the necessities in life, they are going to be very cheap. And you're making a lot of money, compared to your expenses. And also compared to, living in Manhattan or Miami or other very, very, very expensive places. The value of a virtual assistant, which is the last one. There are also some links. thesimpledollar.com, getrichslowly.org, and amazon.com as probably like the resources the author of this summary used. And the first two are reviews. So yeah, I'm gonna see you next time. Bye bye.